Hey YouTube, welcome back to UniXTCG, and today we're going to jump into some more OP06 coverage. We are going to do a Reiju, blue-purple Reiju archetype breakdown today, featuring the Germa 66 card, so I hope you guys enjoy. And we're just going to keep going around and letting everybody kind of know like the basics of each thing before we start diving more in depth. Just keep tuned for the channel because we are going to do so much more. We are going to be having a case break about the first week of this set dropping. We've got another treasure cup to stream. This last one was kind of, it started off hot, ended off meh, but we're going to dive right back into it. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy. Let's see if we can get this video over 100 likes. And let's hop into what makes Reiju do Reiju things. Alright, so first off, we got the leader. You've got Vin Smoke Ru. She is a 5k special attacking leader who basically once per turn, during your turn, when one of your Dawn cards on your field is returned to your Dawn deck, draw one card. She's got 4 life as a dual color leader that can attack normally does have, and we're about to see the rest of the archetype because this is one of those leaders that's not inherently powerful. You have to see how the archetype works with her, and man, it really does. So we're gonna move over to some of the cards that help it like stabilize the package and to help it like facilitate what it's trying to do. You've got a Germa Kingdom, and this is a stage card, a 1-cost stage card. It says activate main, you may discard 1 card, then rest this stage. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 card with Germa and its types and add it to your hand, then send the remaining cards to the bottom of your deck in any order. This is very important because this deck has essentially a double hand. You have the cards in your hand, but you also recycle a lot of the cards from your trash to make some of your bigger plays. So discarding a card that you plan to pull out of the trash later is not really a minus, especially when you're replacing it with whatever you search off the top 3 of your deck. So that's a very, very cool effect, and we'll see how it comes into play a little later. Next, we've got Germa 66, and this is an event card. It says main, look at, as activate main, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 card with the type including Germa other than Germa 66, which is this card, and add it to your hand. Then place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Trigger, draw a card. So this has multiple uses. If you ever see it in a trigger, you can decide to take it to hand for the top 5 search, or you can just get the trigger effect to draw a card if your hand is already set up. Definitely like this card, but this is just glue for the deck. And then the last little piece of like, you know, just glue for this is Vin Smoke Ru. Yeah, that's Sanji's mom. On play, she's a 1-cost 2k counter, which is pretty cool. 0 attack power. And then you have on play, you may discard a card in your hand. If you have equal to or less Dawn on your field than your opponent, add up to 1 character card with 4k power or less that is the Vin Smoke family type from the trash. So what you're essentially being able to do with this card, because like I said, there are a lot of kind of cool things going back and forth. There are small Vin Smokes that are 4k power or less, and then there's their raid suit forms, which become bigger bodies with cooler effects, more powerful effects. And so this card is going to be able to have you drop a raid suit, which normally can be played from the trash and whatnot, on top or in lieu of their small forms, to then pick a small like Vin Smoke family out of your trash and then be able to play that. So this is a very, really good exchange, being able to in a pinch just cycle the big ones for the small ones to be able to play the small ones to be able to play the big ones. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Now we're going to get over to the Vin Smokes themselves and their raid suit forms. This is Vin Smoke Ichi, or Ichiji, and basically activate main, Dawn -1, you may trash this character. If your leader has the Germa 66 type, you may play up to 1 7-cost Vin Smoke Ichiji from your hand or trash. So like I said, you're playing this guy, he's 4k, he can't really go neutral against a leader. But he can sometimes swing on weenies that have turned sideways with Dawn and then use the effect. But for your Dawn -1, which is then going to have you draw a card from your leader, because that's how Reiju works, you're going to be able to play this next card, which is the raid suit version of Vin Smoke Ichiji. And this is on play. He's a 7-cost 7k power strike. On play, if you have equal to or less Dawn on your field than your opponent, give up to 1 of your opponent's characters -2k for this turn, and then this character gains rush. So in most cases, if there's a 5k you want to swing on, you drop it to 3k and swing on it with 7k, it's gone. But you also have the chance to do things like reduce a 5k to a 3k, then swing it with your leader to see what they're going to do, and potentially still have a card like this to swing at your opponent's leader to add pressure. So pretty cool. Rush pressure, good numbers, very, very good numbers. Yeah. Next one, we have got 3-cost 3K, this is Vin Smoke Ru, and Vin Smoke Ru says activate Dawn -1. You may trash this character. If your leader has the Germa 66 type, you may play up to 1 cost 5 Vin Smoke Ru from your hand or trash. So once again, just by activating this main, if it's the first time you've minus Dawn this turn, you are going to draw a card to replace some of that advantage loss. And then you can play this 5 cost Ru. On play, if you have equal to or less Dawn than your opponent, choose the following: KO to one of your opponent's characters that cost 2 or less, or return up to one of your opponent's characters that cost 4 or less to the owner's hand. I am very much so hoping that at one point we get like a black purple Sanji, a Vin Smoke Sanji, that we can use cost reducing effects plus these effects on, because essentially this isn't going to really hit too many things with this KO effect, but it can hit quite a few things with bounce to hand effect. So that's pretty cool. But you can get rid of certain things like certain blockers. They may be small, stuff like that, but generally you're going to be using the second effect unless you can somehow remove cost, which in this color combination really isn't too much of a factor. So yeah, but this still is a 6K. This still is returning something to hand, potentially like a blocker or something you don't want swinging next turn, like a Kuzan or a Borsalino. It does get past things like Borsalino, so there are a lot of merits to this. Next, we've got 2 cost, 2K power Vin Smoke Ru. And Dawn -1, like his 2 brothers, you're able to trash this character. And if your leader has Germa 66 type, you may play up to 1 cost 4 Vin Smoke Ru from your hand to your trash. Or sorry, from your hand or trash. So once again, you are dumping the big bodies, you are playing the bigger bodies from the trash by, you know, getting these guys off the field. And when Vin Smoke Ru comes out, he is a 4 cost 5K body. When you have Dawn equal to or less than your opponent, this character has plus 1K power, making him a 6K blocker. Very, very nice. Doesn't really have protection like something like Borsalino, and I kind of wish he did because he's definitely harder to get out in a lot of cases. Well, you have to have more combo pieces. Not more Dawn intensive, but technically he's still 3 Dawn kind of. You play him and then you set yourself back 1 Dawn. So I kind of wish he had some protection, but he's still part of the deck. And then we have the lady herself. We have Vin Smoke Ru as a character instead of a leader, and she is a 2 cost 2K. Wow, the plot is thick. It is what it is. When you Dawn -1, you trash this character, and of course, like the other Vin Smokes, you can bring out their raid suit version. And when you get raid suit like Vin Smoke Reiju, you have her as a 4K 5 or 4 cost 5K power. And on play, if you have equal to or less Dawn on your field than your opponent, if you have 5 or less cards in hand, you draw 2 cards. So the crazy thing about this is what you can do here is be at like 6 cards in hand, with one of them being Reiju, right? Then you minus a Dawn, and you minus the Dawn, or you play Reiju going down to 5 cards in hand. Actually, no, sorry. You have to be at 5 cards in hand at this point. But yeah, you play this 2-drop Reiju going down to 4 cards in hand. And then after going down to 4 cards in hand, you can -1 Dawn and trash this character to end up playing your Vin Smoke Reiju. Now, once you play your Vin Smoke Reiju, you have minus the Dawn, so you can activate your leader effect, you can draw a card, and then on top of that, you can draw 2 more cards for having 5 or less. I need to refresh to see if these effects are simultaneous, because technically you minus Dawn to play this card, and then you have this card in your leader up. If that is the case, if you can, if anybody wants to, in the comments wants to correct me, because I just need to make sure. If that is the case, you would be able to choose to have Vin Smoke Reiju, the character's effect, go off first, being like, okay, I have 5 cards in hand, drawing 6, drawing 7. Then you can activate your leader's effect second, going, okay, I'm gonna, since I minus the Dawn, I'm just going to draw a card. So that could potentially be a huge swing. I do believe you should be able to stack them, but somebody just let me know in the comments if that's the case or not. Then you have the big boss, the 8 cost man himself. You have Vin Smoke Judge. 8 cost, 8K, powerful. On play, Dawn -1, you may trash 2 cards from your hand, play up to 4 Germa 66 type characters with cost 4K, or sorry, with 4K power or less from your trash with different names. And then activate main once per turn, Dawn -1, rest up to 1 of your opponent's Dawn cards. So the crazy thing about this is that you are going to be able to trash 2 cards in your hand, Dawn -1, and play out all the children. And if you played this guy for 8, right, you are going to be able to then play out, you can play this guy for 8, and you have 8 Dawn, -1 going down to 7, and drawing 1, you're going to trash 2, then draw 1 with your leader's effect. But you're going to play all 4 of the children if you can. After playing all 4 of the children, you've got plenty of effects. You can Dawn minus 4 essentially, because you're going to be removing 4 Dawn. So you're going to go from 7 or from 8 to 7 around there, maybe from 10 to 7, whatever. You're going to go down 1 Dawn, and you're going to go a total of 5 Dawn for that turn to play all of the guys out on all of the raid suits. Because of this, you're going to instantly gain back the cards for the most part that you lost using Reiju's effect. You're going to get a Rusher out of Yanji, a blocker out of Niji, or sorry, a blocker out of Yanji, a Rusher out of Ichiji, and a potential destruction or bounce off of just Nichi. Yeah, it's like Niji, I think. So that's pretty much like the cool coup de grace. You're gonna be able to bust out this entire field after playing this 8K, and that's huge. Playing cards for free in almost any game that has resources is just huge. And yes, you did lose a lot of your Dawn, but hopefully you can stabilize with this giant board that you put out of nowhere to get your Dawn back. So moving over to cards that just kind of make this deck a little more habitable. You've got Kaya, if you don't remember her from set 3. On play, she draws 2 cards and trashes 2 cards, and so because you don't need the big guys in your hand, you can just throw them into the trash and just take whatever cards you get off the top of your deck. She's also a 2K counter if you don't need her. Then you have Pudding, and Pudding is very, very, very special because you have certain decks like Sakazuki that can have a huge hand. You have certain decks like Uta that can have a huge hand, and this card right here just says on play, your opponent returns all of their hand cards, or all of their cards in hand to their deck and shuffles their deck, then your opponent draws 5 cards. This is a 4 cost, so it does take essentially half your turn, but it's a great equalizer. And when you're playing against blue, if like you have to just be cognizant of that, you know, you could be losing an entire hand. So that's going to encourage you to counter more. That's going to encourage you to play more to the board in hopes that you never get caught by getting half of your advantage just shuffled away by Charlotte Pudding. So there's a couple things there. But all in all, this leader is just really, really cool. I do like it. I'm a huge Power Ranger fan, and so I definitely love the raid suits, and I love how, like, essentially you get the leader out, Vin Smoke Judge, and then he squads up and the whole Power Rangers team comes out. And if you think about it, Sanji's like the 6th Ranger, you know? So I'm really, really happy to see all this. This should be a really fun deck to play, and the cards look cool. So let me know in the comments what you think about the Vin Smoke deck, the Germa 66 deck, and if you're going to be playing it when it drops in just about a month and a half. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. We're going to go to the Patreon appreciation spot, and then we'll close it up. Hope you guys have been enjoying a good day, and I hope you guys have been enjoying some of the content I've been putting out today with Dragon Ball Fusion World as well as One Piece. See you later. And if you want to, I'll be making a Dokkan video today too on another channel, because we are always grinding over here in Universe X. Later. All right, now we are at the Patreon appreciation page. This is where we thank everybody that likes to go and give the extra mile to help out this channel, this brand. On here, you're gonna be finding articles that are too long to be put into video form. We'll be getting into that very soon. We've been competing. Fine-tuning the Uta article going up, and then we're gonna dive into some Fusion World as well. OP06 coming up soon. We also have an Uta structure deck giveaway, and I'm about to post up there, as well as the 2 SR full arts from the Goku and Vegeta starter deck for Dragon Ball Super Fusion World, so look out for that. Next, I just want to say special vocal shout out for the Realm of Xers, the Briars, the Bracers, and the Big Daddy Flapjacks. Thank you guys for giving the extra mile in terms of support and whatnot, and I will see you guys all in the next article and or video.